welcome to another video, and welcome to Start Point Lighthouse. Wow, Start Point Lighthouse is over in that direction, up over that big hill there. We're not actually there yet, so I just wanted to bring you up to speed whilst we were headed to the lighthouse. So original plan today was to get a nice drone shot of the lighthouse from the sea. However, the wind has really picked up and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it or not. So for a minute I'm going to take a grounded shot of the lighthouse, and just as I've arrived, just got down here and you can see these rocks down here, which should make an interesting shot. So I'm going to set up for that in a second. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Drone shot may be abandoned, but we'll see later. I might stick around for a bit and then see whether the wind dies down a little bit. So I'm going to set up further down the path there. Right, so I was going to take the image from just up on top of the rocks up here, but I've actually seen this rock here, this big rock, just the waves hitting the back of it. It looks really interesting. So I'm going to try and get down onto the beach and take a shot of that, maybe slow shutter speeds, get a bit more drama in that image. So we're going to get down there and do that. All set up for the first shot, and I'm using the 6D this time, and my 5D Mark IV finally gave up the ghost on me and it is no longer working. It's not reading the card slots anymore, so that's gonna have to go back to the shop. So just to let you know my settings and what I'm using, so I'm using a polarizer. I'm probably going to put an ND filter on as well. So at the moment I'm using a polarizer to cut through the glare on the waves, and I'm using the Canon 24-105 lens, and that's an L series lens. And my shot, I'm going to be playing around with the settings, so we'll have a look now. So settings wise, we're using a polarizer, as I said, so it's given us a shutter speed of a 20th of a second with f16 at ISO 100. So when I was first up the top and I looked down, the rock wasn't surrounded by water like this and the waves were hitting it. It was looking really nice. It's still getting a bit of splash on it. It's not what I was intended originally, so I'm not overly happy with it. But we've got this rock in the foreground, and then in the background you've got a few little rocks that are making waves as the water hits it. And then I want to include the two stacks at the back here, just to give it a bit of framing. So then you've got the big rock on the left hand side and the two stacks on the right to balance the image out. We're also fighting against the tide because the tide is on its way in, and I'm not sure how long we got left. I think I'm going to be moving on to the lighthouse. Yeah, I'm just not loving this camera, to be honest, and I think it's just draining a little bit of my creativity, if you like. The back of the screen is not easy to use. Can't use the touch points. There's no touch screen to it, so my focus is all over the place. So I think I'm just going to move on to the lighthouse and hopefully get an interesting image there, because that rock looked really good, but I just wasn't delivering today. And maybe it's because I waited too long. Maybe it's because I'm just not seeing the chance there, the opportunity to get the image that I want. So onwards and upwards. Right, so we come down to the beach to get the lighthouse shot, but the tide is coming in and I may end up getting stranded, because what I want to do is I want to head over here on these jagged rocks here to get the image that I want, because as much as I like these rocks, I think there's too much of them in the foreground to get the image. So I'm going to cross over there, try and get back without getting wet, but we'll see. This could go horribly wrong.
So at this location, I couldn't set my tripod up because the rocks were so jaggedy and slippery. The tripod kept moving and I couldn't do a piece to camera because I'd have to set 2 tripods up. So in the end, I decided just to handheld shoot. And whilst we were there, we were greeted by some seals and they just hung around for a little bit. And one of them popped his head up and just started sniffing, like it was almost like he was trying to smell me and see who I was or what I was. And he stayed there for quite a while sniffing the air. I got a few shots of that and I'll pop them up on the screen as well.
There's a long way around this little island. It's not an island, but it's a long way. So we have arrived at the place that I want to take my final image. I'm not going to be filming me taking the photo because there's a lot of people around today and this path is super narrow. And I've got a feeling I'm going to set up my tripod, set up the other tripod, and then I'm going to be talking to you and somebody's going to walk around the corner. I'm going to have to move everything. Final composition, I'm going to be shooting the lighthouse from this angle. I don't know if you can see it on there. So basically you're going to catch this, cut this off here and get the water coming out with a 10 stop ND filter at 25 seconds, ISO 100 at, what f-stop are we on? Who knows? F18 I think it is. I can't see because I haven't got my glasses on. I think it's F18. And a polarizer as well. So just to get the colour out in the heather and the rocks and maybe a bit in the sea and the sky, because there is absolutely zero interest in the sky. So yeah, long exposure it is. So hope you enjoy the images. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.